seekers of wisdom, welcome to another episode of Chronicles of 1900. It's an inspirational podcast and it's wonderful coming your way on this Easter Sunday. Last week, I did mention to you that I was going to tell you about how to access credit, and today I've got a couple of points for you that you can utilize. The good thing about credit is good if you know how to use it. Trust me, it is good. You can leverage your credit to be able to achieve a lot. I used to have the notion before as well that when I access credit, how am I going to pay it back? What am I going to do? Well, I come to realize that in the UK, which is the Western world, credit is just what everybody builds on. And at the end of the day, what you realize is that what you couldn't do with your personal finance, you've done them with credit, and you still have a lot to gain out of it. So today, I'm going to tell you how to access credit. I talked about the fact that you can start a small business using your credit card last week, whereby you can use your credit to be able to buy a product and resell and then make some money out of it. But remember the last thing I said to you: don't take credit if you can't buy it with your debit card, unless you have a plan to pay it back. This business is quite easy, but if it's for personal reasons, you need to be very careful. So today I'm going to tell you about how you can access credit. The first thing you must do in this country is this: you must register to vote. Provided you come from a country where, maybe from Commonwealth countries, right, you can actually register to vote. And if you're in the UK and you have the right to work, it means you can register to vote. Why do you need to register to vote? It is because every lender wants to know where they can track you to. So if there's nowhere they can track you to, it's going to be difficult to give you credit. So as soon as you sort yourself, you're in the country, you have like an address, right? You need to register to vote with the council in that particular area so that your name can be on the system to say this is where Abraham lives. This advantage also goes to people that buy mortgage. I know some people will feel like buying mortgage, I don't want to pay mortgage for 25 years, 30 years, or I don't think it's even necessary, let me save some money. The reality is the reason why people with mortgages as well have access to credit is because they can be linked to somewhere. It doesn't matter if the property is worth 200,000 or even 50,000. The fact that your name is on the title deed and the land registry shows that you can be tied to that property, which means they can look for you and they can find you. That's why it's easy for lenders to give you credit, because you have your name tied to somewhere. So that's the first thing. You need to register to vote, ensure that we can know where you are. I mean, as a lender can actually track you to somewhere. The second thing you must do is that you must open an online credit agency to be able to ensure that your details on the system are correct. Equifax is there, Experian is there, Credit Karma is there. Credit Karma is free, ClearScore is free. Experian can give you free version as well. If you want to download your history of your credit, you can go to TransUnion, that's free. You download the history of your credit. But if you want to see your score, you might go to Equifax or Experian. I think you pay about £19.99 if you want to have the full service. But if you don't want to have the full service, you can have the basic service that is free, that shows you your credit score and who has made a search in your name. If you want to have full access to your credit and you don't want to pay for it, you can go to Credit Karma. Credit Karma is free. It takes your data as well from Equifax, or you can go to ClearScore. ClearScore takes your data from Equifax as well, and they are free as well. Why do you need these credit checking applications or website? You need them because it will tell you exactly what your score is, and it will help you to know what you need to do to build your credit. Now, if you don't have them, you won't know what is happening to your credit. Even if your details have been used for fraud, you wouldn't know. We've had experiences where somebody has been accommodated by a family, and for a while, they didn't know that this person that they accommodated was using their details for credit fraud. It was until after he left the house and then lenders started asking for money. That's when they realized that, but we didn't ask for this money, we didn't borrow this money, let's call the lender. And they called the lender and they realized actually that their details have been used for fraud to be able to borrow money that weren't paid. So you need to be careful to ensure that for you to have those details, you're actually looking at your history as well. So it's very important that you have those credit agency to be able to give you monitoring alert on what is happening to your credit history. Another one you must do is you must have a high street bank account. Now, it's easy to open the likes of Monzo, Sterling, those banks are online bank, Revolut, You can open them easily because they are online banks as well, right? They are the new generation banks. Right, good. But you need a high street bank. Now, why do you need a high street bank? High street bank have reputation. The likes of Barclays, HSBC, Halifax, Lloyds, RBS, Nationwide, Metro Bank, the banks that have actual location, right? They got credibility, right? So if you have a high street bank, it also shows when you're trying to make an application, when they ask you how long have you been with this bank. It shows that you've been with the bank for a year, for 2 years. It shows longevity and it can be trusted. So that's something again you need to do. Another thing I'm going to throw in here is never have one bank account. Telling you from experience, never ever have one bank account, because sometimes things happen beyond your control and it could damage your credit history. The next thing I'm going to talk about is thrift. Some people call it ajo if you are from like Nigeria. It's a thrift that you can do to be able to access credit, and it's very good as well. You can even use it to buy mortgage as well. So the way thrift work is that you would have a set of people, probably colleagues at work, that every one of you have the same vision and objective. You can say 10 of you want £1,000 and you can raise 10,000 from there. You can use that to start your small business. You can also use that to be part of your mortgage deposit. But how does it work? There's a process to it, because the bank will assume that why can't you save the 1,000 yourself for 10 months for 10,000 or 12 months for 12,000? But the reality is it's difficult. It's difficult to save that money, especially if you're not earning a lot. But if you have that thrift, it's more or less a goal that you have to fulfill every month because you signed up to it. So how can you use thrift to be a way of accessing credit? You must ensure thrift is an association. What does that mean? You have to have an association form where every one of you that's involved in that thrift signs to be part of the association, and you agree what you want to contribute and how you want to ensure that everybody benefits from it. That can be used to open a bank account. Lloyds used to do a bank that they call treasury account for community. You don't need to register with Charity Commission or Companies House. You can simply just put up those thrift association document and sign it, ensure everything is dotted, the T's, the I's, everything, the T's is crossed, the I's dots, and then you put it together and then take it to the bank to be able to get what I call bank account, and everybody pays into it and they transfer it to the person. So thrift is a good way to access credit as well. Another thing I'm going to talk about is open lockbox. What is lockbox? Lockbox helps you to grow your credit. So if you have lockbox, you can open lockbox account, begin to save into it, and it will help you a lot to be able to improve your credit. So that's something that you need to think about. And the last one I'm going to talk about is ensure that you have credit builders credit card. Now, credit builders credit cards are different from normal credit card. If you apply online, maybe you want to go to comparethemarket.com, or you want to go to any comparable site to be able to look for credit card, they will specifically write it there and say it's a credit builder card. Some of them are Vanquis, Aqua, Capital One. They are specifically for credit building. What does this card do for you? This card will help you to ensure that as you are using them, you will grow. I started with Vanquis of £250 some years ago, and now I think I have about 4 grand Vanquis. The good thing about it is that as you're using it and you're paying it back, you're going to increase it for you. So you need to ensure that for you to access credit, you must make sure you do the right thing that you need to do. Like I've said before, it's very important that you use the right approach to access credit. Let me recap what I've said to you today. One of the things you must do first if you want to access credit is that you must have your address registered to vote. So which means that wherever you live, you must register to vote in that address, because it helps whoever wants to lend you money, could be bank, could be finance companies, to be able to track you to a location. If you have a mortgage, more advantage, because it means that your name is on the deeds and then the land registry as well. Another one is you should have Experian or Equifax. If you don't want to pay, you can have the free version, but if you have the paid version, it helps you as well. You can even see what kind of cards, like credit cards, you can apply for. Also, if you want to have full access to your credit but you don't want to pay for it, you can go to Credit Karma, or you can go to ClearScore. ClearScore, Credit Karma, they are there for you to be able to see your credit. You can also use TransUnion if you want to download the history of your credit. It's important that you monitor your credit and you know what is happening on your profile. Okay. Then I said you must have a bank account. You might have a normal online bank account, but have a high street bank account. It's very good because they have reputation. Okay. And don't have one bank account. Remember I said it. Always have at least two bank accounts because anything can happen sometimes, and it goes beyond your capacity. You can't help it, and you don't want that to damage your credit because your direct debit cannot be taken or because you can't make payment that you should have made. Okay. Then I said another way to access credit that is very good and very easy and it's very, very effective is thrift. Get an association and have a thrift where you all contribute to it, and then you're able to use it to be able to ensure that you can actually use that form of accessing credit. And then I said you can have lockbox account. Lockbox is very good. If you have lockbox account, it helps you to build your credit file. Okay. And then lastly, I also mentioned to you that you should try to have a credit builder card. A credit builder card is a card that enables you to build your credit, like Bankies, Aqua, or Capital One. They are credit. There are other ones as well that you can look for. If you have an Experian account, you see a list of them coming up for you as suggestions as well. But please remember what I said to you last week podcast. Whatever you can't buy with your debit card, don't swipe your credit card on it. You're gonna run into debt. Thank you very much. Share with everyone. Put commenting if you need any help or you're not sure what I'm talking about or you don't know how to go about it. Put a comment in there. I will reach out to you. I'll reply your messages. We can have a chat. I'm happy to tell you one or two things for that just to be able to help you. It's Chronicles of 1900. It's an inspirational podcast. All I'm doing here is to be able to encourage you, to be able to give you access to information that you might not get. Some of the things I'm sharing with you, they are based on my experience in this country for the past maybe about 12 years, 13 years, because that's what I've been able to harness this knowledge. There's no point in me holding it and not sharing with you. When I share with you, it makes your life better as well. But what can you do for me? Like, comment, share, and encourage other people to also get information as well. It's free of charge. Why don't we just share it? Thank you very much. And once again, happy Easter to you and your family, wherever you may be. It's the Easter season. Jesus is the reason for the season. My name is Abraham Sunday on Inspirational Podcast. I love you. God bless you. And then we'll see you next week on another important topic. Thank you. God bless you.